Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, January 16th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol RGTI, did this one in yesterday's video, and the upwards move continues. Another very solid day. So I'm going to first just start off by getting rid of those lines down there. They've served their purpose for now. And from a resistance standpoint, definitely a couple of very key levels to watch. And the first one being right here. And I think a lot of people have drawn this line. And I make that comment because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements. But I think a lot of people have drawn that resistance line. And check it out, right where the price is hovering right below that area. So that's going to be the big question mark headed into Thursday is, can the price break through that level? Now, if it does, don't get me wrong, that's a good thing. I wouldn't get too excited about it because not that far away, you have the pink line up there, the 200 period moving average, which could also serve as resistance. With that being said, if you're some sort of scalper momentum player, that's a lot of wiggle room right there that you could scalp out profit. So like I said, it's hard to talk about all this from every single angle, but just broadly speaking, those would be definitely the two main areas of resistance headed into the remainder of the week. In terms of areas of support, the ideal level, when you say, Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? Let's change that to green for support. Ideally speaking, you'd want to see the price stay above there at the $10 mark. But if the price does not hold above there, the next key level of support to watch would be down there, that purple line there, 50 period moving average right now valued at 865. But given the price is so close to that level right there, grab your popcorn. Let's see if the price can break up through there on Thursday. Next one here, ticker symbol QBTS, and overall, another nice mover today. Talked about this one and how this had entered into the sideways channel, but got a very strong break to the upwards part of the channel. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the channel down there as it served its purpose for now. And as far as levels of support are concerned, key level to watch, I would argue, is now that purple line there, 50 period moving average, right now valued at the $5 mark. And the reason why that is so important, and I'm not saying this will occur, but for explanation's sake, if the price were to come down to that purple line and then break down through it, what do you have all of a sudden? Well, all of a sudden you'd have the price starting to go back to where it was. Or said another way, that would be implying that the price made a nice bounce to then just go right back to where it was. Not exactly a sign of genuine power. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that is why in my mind $5 is a key level. Because if the price can stay above $5, so if it comes down here and then heads up, at that point you would have progress. If you envision each of those lows as stair steps, these stair steps very clearly progressing in the upwards direction. In terms of levels of resistance, once again, you have a level that I think a lot of people will be watching, and that is that resistance trend line right there. So keep an eye on that. And then the next overarching level, like RGTI, the 200 period moving average looming up there. But like I said, from a scalping perspective, definitely a lot of wiggle room right there to potentially scalp out on profits. But overall, nice move today. Next one, SGBX, and this one has become an absolute train wreck. But with absolute train wrecks, there can be some very, very interesting type, bounces, even if it's just a dead cat bounce. From a trading standpoint, sometimes that's all you need. And there's no doubt about it. This thing has been beat down, and it's been beat down in a hurry. And just to illustrate this, let me get that trend line in play. That is a very, very steep trend line. So reason goes, and again, not guaranteed, but it's reasonable to think that if the price were to curl back around and then get up through there, that could create a nice little, even if it's just a knee-jerk reaction, a temporary knee-jerk reaction that sends it up to there before it crashes again. From a scalping point of view, from here up to there or wherever it goes, that's enough wiggle room right there to potentially pull out some profits. Again, no guarantees. These are definitely for those that are, you should be good with risk management regardless of the setups you're trading. But situations like this where you're looking for potentially those quick turnarounds, you definitely want to be good in the risk management department. But yeah, no doubt about it. Very ugly looking chart right now, but there can be opportunities in the ugly where you all of a sudden get weird, snapback, dead cat bounces. So if you like these sorts of circumstances, keep an eye on it. Next one, BKYI, and another rougher one, not nearly as rough as what we just looked at, and at least this one is starting to go sideways here a little bit, which still does not guarantee anything, but it makes it a little bit more reasonable to think that maybe this pullback here is finally going to be over, and we have a nice little trend line in and of itself with all that. So what I'm very curious about from a support standpoint is that trend line right there. It's essentially showing that things are leveling out, and even within the leveling out, technically speaking, the price is putting in a higher low, at this area compared to where it was back here. So keep an eye on that from a support standpoint. And then in terms of areas of resistance, if this thing is going to find any sort of upwards momentum, seems to be right there at that $2.33 mark is going to be a key level. So in a very, very micro sense, you essentially have this little micro ascending triangle that is forming. So not just a question of where the price bounce around and then get a break to the upside. So if you like these sets of circumstances, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, NVDA, and been a wild one the past couple of days, and this morning was no different. Check out that opening 30 minutes. Price dropped all the way down here. It was looking like another nasty, nasty gap and trap going back to yesterday's open, and then all of a sudden, up it went. So truly some crazy volatile action, but when the dust has settled now, this sideways channel has been cleared. So again, I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of that, and we can start to focus on some new key levels. With the newest level now that I'm very curious about being right here up around this area right there at 136.50. Nothing fancy, nothing, really rocket scientist-ish behind, other than the fact of that's just where that nasty move occurred yesterday. So right now you can see actually once again that's providing resistance. Does not mean the price can't push above it, but in my mind that's a very key level and a very interesting level. So keep an eye on that as the initial resistance. If the price can push through there, again, as I've said, that's a good thing. You don't want to get overly excited because not that far away. Once again, we have that 200 period moving average looming overhead. You can see that's already acted as resistance once right there. But nonetheless, that would still be a good break if it can get up through that level. Any sort of pullbacks, keep an eye on that purple line right there. 50 period moving average right now valued at 133.60. Real quick, want to take a quick break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage there that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, ticker symbol LAES, and like a lot of these other ones are all in the same sector, this sideways channel has been broken and cleared through, so I'll go ahead and get rid of that, and we'll focus on more of the nearer term levels. So as far as resistance levels are concerned, maybe you noticed right where I'm going to bring this, but this general area right here at about $5.18 has been definitely the key level to watch. So you can see right there from a few days ago rejected the price, and then you fast forward to today's opening 30 minutes right there has rejected the price. So that's not to say that the price cannot break through that level. It's just telling us that as of right now, for whatever reason, the sellers have shown to hang right around that area. If the price can break through it, the next key level not until up there, that pink line there, 200 period moving average valued at 625. As far as levels of support, so far so good. That purple line there, 50 period moving average, is the one you would want to see act as support. And you can see right there, it did indeed act as support. So as it comes down here, you're going to ideally want to see it stay above it. If the price does not hold above that purple line, then the next key level that I would say is a way more important area of support would be this gap close location right down here around $3.93. But all things considered, good movement today. We'll see if the momentum carries into Thursday. Next one here, QUBT. Very, very nice pattern here has formed. Whoops. There we go. And definitely the price is hanging around some key and interesting levels here. So let's get this first mapped out. And the level here that it's knocked on the door a couple times right up here at $11.60, which is sort of random in the sense of, it's not like over here was a high or here was a high. It just out of nowhere, that's where the sellers decided to step in. And then you can see this late day movement. Those sellers that were there are still hanging around that area at $11.60. So like I said, somewhat random. I would not have thought $11.60 would have been the problem point today, going into today, but nonetheless, that is where sellers are hanging. So $11.60 would be that initial area of resistance if the price can push up through there. Next key area of resistance right there around the $12.75 mark. In terms of areas of support, the ideal level, that area that would make the chart look the healthiest and strongest moving forward, is right there at the $9.75 mark. If the price cannot hold above there, then definitely the way more important level is that purple line, because you remember, as I talked earlier, you don't want to see the price going back to where it was, and that's what any sort of break below that area would represent. That'd be putting the price right back to where it was, and as already discussed, that's not a sign of genuine power. But all in all, great movement today, and let's just see if the price can at least get above $11.60 on Thursday. Next one here, IONQ. Very, very impressive movement today, but I think you're probably looking at the same level I am. Right away from a resistance standpoint, and I know I've talked about this level in the past, but this is exactly why that 200 period moving average very famous within the world of charting, and this is why. Notice how this thing was beast moding, beast moding, beast moding. Then all of a sudden it gets near that purple line, and all of a sudden pink line, and then all of a sudden starts to go sideways. And as I've said before, and will continue to say, that doesn't mean that the price can never get above the pink line. That's not my claim. My claim is just that it makes sense why the price all of a sudden started to go sideways, and that moving forward, that is certainly going to be a key battleground to watch. So $41 is going to be that main battleground from a resistance standpoint. The good news is the price is well within striking distance. It's not like it's got to first start here and travel all the way up there just to get to it. Now it's got to just travel a very small distance before it can start doing battle with that again. In terms of areas of support, that ideal level down here at 35.75, and then like a lot of these other ones, that purple line there, a much more important level, that being the moving average. So as time goes by, that line will move itself higher and higher. So it's basically like a trend line that's drawing itself for you. So long as the price does stay above the overall trend line, then that does imply the price in and of itself is putting in those higher lows. But all eyes on that pink line right there, 200 period moving average. Can the price break through it on Thursday? Grab your popcorn and we'll see what happens. Next one, KITT, and I like this one because it's got a good solid little pattern, although I'm going to make this pattern a little different because I'm going to start the actual trend line for the pattern way back here. And you can see this essentially where this trend line occurred. And it's not the perfect trend line, but I still think it conveys the general sense of things, is that there is still some overall downwards pressure. But the movement up today, definitely a good sign. And then let me get the bottom part of the pattern in play here. So there we go. Change that to green for support. And then just to make sure everybody can see the pattern, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right here. For you golfers, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because it's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to move upwards, but it certainly would not be shocking if all of a sudden the price came up here, broke through it, and then that break right there created that much more upside buying pressure. So if you like this price range down below $5, you like bull pennants, keep an eye on it. Next one, TSLA Tesla. Very, very impressive day today, especially after a very rough move yesterday. There had been this sideways channel, big move up yesterday, and then a gap and trap, which dropped it back inside of the channel. And all of a sudden today, the price is not only back up to these highs right here, but has broken through and gone even higher. So, I mean, like I said, just a crazy day and a very strong day here for Tesla. So let's get some levels mapped out as we look for next potential battlegrounds. Oh, wow, it even broke through that level. What level am I talking about? Well, I thought right there, but it's broken up through there. So we have to go even higher than that. So yeah, Tesla was even stronger today than what I realized. So next key battleground to keep an eye on now moving forward right there at 435.50. So 435.50, the next key battleground to watch all the way up there. In terms of areas of support, if you like to play pullbacks, first interesting pullback area right there at that breakout point, which sits at 422.75. And then after that, I would just personally keep an eye on moving averages for potential pullback points. You have that initial level right there, 200 period moving average, and then the 50 period moving average. Again, both those will be moving because they're moving averages, but those would be the secondary and kind of ulterior areas of support if that level up there does not hold. But anyway, look at it. Great movement today, crazy strong. Does it get up to 435.50 on Thursday, and can it break through? We'll see what happens. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a moment, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and how it should be used, then like I said, very soon, there's going to be this free live class. It'll be Thursday, January 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. And also, as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these and you're looking for a super easy and free way to support the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help out quite a bit. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now on the 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candlesticks now represents 4 hours as opposed to 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7. And I want this video to remain relevant for as long as possible. So by looking at the longer time frames and then walking you through some general questions, that'll allow me to keep this updated for as long as possible. But last update I did, we were asking the question, okay, what's going to happen with the price and that 200 period moving average? And we got our answer. Huge, beautiful breakout, which leads into question number one. So let's say you're watching this video 15, 20 hours after I upload it. For question number one, where's the price at relative to the pink line there, which is at, well, let's just call it 97,300. As long as you're saying the price is above there, everything is perfectly fine. Even if the price is pulled back a little bit, all that pullback would be doing is creating a nice solid bullish pattern. So if there's like some sort of pullback, well, all you'd have is a nice bull flag pattern. So like I said, as long as you're answering the question that the price is above the pink line, things are perfectly fine. If you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below the pink line. All right, next immediate question, where's the price at relative to the purple line? 50 period moving average, right now valid at 94,000. 900. If somehow you're saying the price is down below there, even at that point, I'm not going to say the chart's ruined. I would say things are looking a little shaky, but I'd be surprised if you're answering the question that the price is down below that level. And then on the flip side of things, if you're saying, well, yes, Clay, the price is above that pink line right there. Next question would be, okay, well, where's the price at relative to right up here at the 101,000 mark? And if you're saying, well, the price is above there, that is great. How great? Well, then common sense kicks into play. How far above that level is it? The further above, the more great of a situation it is. But as of right now, as I speak, very, very impressive turnaround by Bitcoin. So we'll see if this momentum carries on. And as I invited the stock traders, I want to invite you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to definitely get signed up for the free live class, because what you'll learn about can and certainly should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin. So like I said, the class will be very soon, Thursday, January 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. And once again, as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy me doing Bitcoin and you want to support the channel in a very easy way, please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, it really does help out. So thanks for watching, and make sure you get signed up for the free class.